Hi, this video is about how to write reports. So I'm going to go briefly into what reports are, and then we're going to go into my actual written response, which you can download. It should be in the comments at the end of this video. Okay, so just going to go through the basics first. So what is a report? A report is a detailed explanation. It's usually broken down into these clear subheadings. That's a organizational feature that's really important in functional skills. And the structure tends to be, tends to have quite a clear title that gives an overview. Sometimes it can have an introduction, which gives you like an overview of the topic. You can go into advantages, disadvantages, and then a conclusion. These are generally separated by that layout technique of the subheadings there. Okay, and that's really all it is for in terms of actually physically writing it. But if we have a look at sample answer, I'll just show you what the actual question looks like, and then my sample answer here. Okay, so this is the typical kind of question you might get in level 1 functional skills. They'll give you a little bit of information. In English, we call this context. It's quite an important thing to remember. If you moved on to GCSE, context is a very important thing, and it gives you the background information. And also going to tell us, 3 things they want us to focus on. We call this the indicative content, and these are things that you have to include. Okay, so generally in the exam, they'll give you the information like this, and then they'll give you the writing question. And the writing question kind of just repeats pretty much what's in the information there. It says writing task, write a report to Poppy Ingram about the result. In your report, you should say what you like and dislike about the attractions, comment on the food and the accommodation, and then suggest any improvements. Okay, so as long as you have those 3 things in there, it doesn't really matter how you structure it, as long as you do have those things in there. Okay, but I'll just show you mine there. And this is for the first question of the writing test. You'll see that it's 21 marks. Here's my sample answer. So the first thing I did is I just did a simple title, Report on Sillywood Attractions. And I've just, because this is all about the improvements, I'm talking about all the things that are wrong with the attractions and stuff like that, first of all. Now, the thing with this is that you've got to use your imagination. Try and kind of take from any kind of experiences you have, or just imagine, a bad situation that could be easily fixed with your recommendations. So you could have either done, broken it down to sections. So you could have done the attractions and then spoke about what was bad about the attractions, and just change paragraph and talk about how this would be improved. But what I've tried to do is I've just mentioned the attractions. I've written a couple of lines trying to go into detail, trying to use my good adjectives and stuff to get my point across, just to kind of inform the reader about what's bad about these things. Okay, I've done the same thing with the food and the accommodation, and then finally I've moved to improvements, and this one will be my largest paragraph because that's where I address those things that I was talking about before, but I've done a different paragraph for each one. So you can structure it either way. It's just as long as the examiner sees there is a clear structure to your answer, then you should be absolutely fine. Okay, so this is about 270 words, and the word limit, or the preferred word limit, is about 250. So just to kind of give you an indication, when you do put it into sections, it's not actually that much text. When you think about your organization and things like that, it's not too much. But just make sure that you've set it out in a report that's kind of clear and factual. So the way I've done it with like the improvements, you could have just had a conclusion. If you wanted to kind of sum up and you started mentioning the improvements further on, that would be fine. But it's up to you. I find that it's a lot easier when you start experimenting with these things. So once this video is finished, if you want to have a look at this sample answer and have a go at writing your own response and see what you think about, what's your preferred structure. Make sure you've got those 3 key things in there. Make sure you're writing it to Poppy Ingram, and just experiment and get used to kind of writing the word limit within the amount of time that you would normally have in the exam. Okay, but that's everything then, guys. Thanks a lot for listening. Please like and subscribe if you liked it, and if you need any more videos, got any more recommendations for me or anything like that, please see it in the comments. All right, until next time.